Prime time Saturday footy from the MCG. And the story so far with the quarter to play, Cats led early by 20 points at quarter time. Tigers lost Dion Prestia for the game. Cats, with 4 goals in a row, opened up a 35-point lead. But the Fighting Tigers began the long climb back. And they bounced back to take the lead by 5 points with 1 quarter left. David King.
Well, the game's in the balance right now, and the tiny dancer, Shea Bolton's the one that's separating this match. 2 goals, 1 in that term. He's kicked 3 goals so far today. He's got a matchup that he's enjoying. Mark O'Connor at this stage, effectively at full-back. I just wonder whether Chris Scott will continue with that matchup in the final term, given that he's exposed the space that Mark's allowed in that 3rd term. Do you go back to a Stewart? Do you go to abuse? Or do you stay with Mark O'Connor is the big question.
Yeah, so Bolton was the class and the finish, wasn't he? He's giving Chris Scott some headaches deep. But if you're looking for where the attitude adjustment came from for the Tigers, it was Liam Baker. He was the igniter of effort within this group. And it was efforts like this. We've seen so many of them from Liam Baker today. He has no right to really even try and spoil that ball. He doesn't get there, but it sends an effort statement to the rest of his teammates, and he's backed it up with some really good form around the ball. So I reckon he's the best trier in the AFL, Liam Baker.
Yeah, and that's a great label to have, because he's done it in the back half, he's done the forward half. When they needed him today, he's gone into the middle, and he's changed the attitude of the whole Richmond group, and they've said, yeah, we'll jump on board. It's the sort of thing that Joel Selwood's done for this Geelong side for a long, long time now, and we're asking too much of him to be able to do it. Certainly won't be doing it from the bench where he's starting. But Tom Hawkins, his great mate's the other one that's got to get a lift out of the middle. Tackles as well. They've only had 28 tackles for the game, Richmond Footy Club. So the Tigers have taken it away. They've got momentum. Can Geelong win it back?
O'Connor is still with Bolton in one end of the ground, as you saw Tarrant and Hawkins at the other. Tigers have climbed back from 35 down to lead by 5. We're into the final term of what could be an epic match. It certainly has thrilled us for 3 quarters and is deserving of an incredible climax.
So Tom Stewart's got Dustin Martin as well, which means he's going to be occupied.
And Curvis had free rein, kicked it forward to Revolt. They hold their ground deep. Bolton and Lynch both there, ready to jump. At the back, Stewart provided some coverage for the Cats. A wobbly kick. Everyone had to suddenly abruptly change where they were moving. Henry having some latitude by the umpire. You heard the Richmond's fans' thoughts about that. It went unwhistled. Now a ball up.
Loaded up in the front half again. Bolton deep. Martin up there. Edwards, Revolt, Lynch. So plenty of firepower, which makes it hard for Geelong. If you want to roll off, you run the risk of leaving one of those guys free.
Menegola to Blitzhouse. Found some room where there wasn't a lot. Heads to the wing. Stanley got a half fist on it. Grimes, superb as always. Ball looped wide towards Short, but he couldn't do something with it. Atkins knocks it out.
It's just an outnumber too at the moment. Every time the ball clears the space and gets to the next contest, it's an outnumber that Richmond have got. So suggests working harder. Ross being important. Clearances have just evened up and squared up. In fact, Richmond have got their nose in front here.
Tigers won 6 of their last 7 coming into this. Cats have won their last 4. Guthrie, Stewart got on the boot before they could even boo him this time. Floston got there, double fister back toward the boundary, couldn't kill it. Stengel got there, bangs it to half forward. Can Henry get there to contest it? McIntosh with a double fister again, he doesn't kill it. Floston, magnificent. The Short off and running, heads long. Bolton again, one-on-one. Bolton, little knock on O'Connor, boundary line. Bolton shaking Shea, couldn't shake Buse this time. Ball in.
Oh, some nice protection. You need that at times when you're playing on Shea Bolton in this mood, and Buse coverage for O'Connor was just outstanding there. Came off Edwards, and he was away if he hadn't made that. It was gone.
Boundary line saved him in the end. Blitzhouse got the tap. Baker charging through, won the football, couldn't release it, and pays the price. Atkins digging in for the Cats. He needs a few to go with him.
Well, we can highlight the big tackles that Geelong have laid, can't we? Myers in that 3rd quarter, and that there from Atkins. It's something they've got to start to do a little more of.
Here's another look at it. There's Menegola Ponders. Uses his right foot to go along to the wing. Smith realising you have to fly. Didn't really get set for it. Flostone versus Stengel. They straddle the boundary, and he was just taken a little high. Flostone wanted the handball, and you can see why. They're set again. Advantage paid. Ross, length on the kick. Lynch is in the frame. Can't quite hang on. Everyone thought he would. Kolajasny comes loose. Clark! Judson Clark kicks another one for the Tigers. And the celebration spread around the MCG.
Well, probably should have been.
What a team.
Well, yeah, they're amazing. They've got such a deep well of belief that they're able to draw on here. Could have been a free kick to Lynch. Could have been a free kick here for holding the ball, but the forward pressure is invited again. You can see the celebrations. They're going nuts. Go right back to the Vlosten handball on centre wing. They weren't even entertaining that stuff in the first quarter, the first 45 minutes.
No, they weren't. And there was a pivotal chain of handballs in the second quarter, I reckon, where it coincided with the change in the attitude of the whole game. And sometimes, as good as this side is, they need a reminder. This is what it is when we're at our best. And the reminder came, and the response has been brilliant.
Just his third game, just his third disposal. He's a left footer. He kicked that off the right.
Over to you, Cats. What do you got? Baker. You got anyone to beat him? He spears it. Lynch. He spent that before it earned it. Still a chance for Baker. Almost two of them out there to pick it in the pocket. And he centres it, and three Cats looked at each other. Couldn't work out who was going to go. Clark nearly made them all pay.
Well, there's the uncertainty of the game. That would have been just gobbled up early in this piece. They would have played with, great confidence, but Menegola wasn't certain. Doubt in the mind of Geelong.
Here on villain time now, and the Cats need a hero in a hurry. Duncan out wide. And floating into the front, Pickett again. Outjudged a lot of them.
That's 4 intercept marks in about the last 10 minutes of play.
And the delivery to short, magnificent. Now, does he crank up on this? Does he take on the man on the mark?
Yeah, Hawkins is onto it.
Hawkins comes at him. He's got a fair bit on it. It's been marked anyway. Unbelievable from Lynch. He's marked a couple of those on the goal line this afternoon. And this might be the most important of the lot.
They've missed 3 of these. Well, when you say sitters, in their relative terms, given what the modern-day players capable of.
But these are regulation now. With 10 metres, if you can get close enough to the man on the mark, no one can get near you on a 1-2 step kick.
You'll hear the Tiger fans roar. Cats on the canvas.
Ten of the last 12 goals, it's been an avalanche. It has been an absolute avalanche, and it's a testament to the style of footy they play and the belief they've got in it. They got back to the very best version of themselves. With about 20 minutes ago elapsed in that second quarter, they got back to it. And from that point on, the Cats haven't had the answer. They've been dominated. They've been given a lesson in sort of forward half turnover, in pressure around the ball, in clearance, and now they're getting overwhelmed deep inside their defensive 50.
Well, the Cats gave the lesson early because Richmond couldn't move the football, even if they wanted to.
Another 3 goals for Tom Lynch. Game number 12, so he's missed a couple, and he's moving up on the Coleman. Baker out of the middle again. Reading his mind was McIntosh. He's got Rioli on hand. He's spoiled for choice. He goes short to short, or Curvis. They hack it forward to Koning, Bolton. Well done, though. He got it safely to Tui, and then to Menegola. And that's a crisp kick. Finds Guthrie at halfback. They trailed by 17. Cameron's going to be under siege, but was able to stave that off. Took the mark to close. This is the more promising build-up. You can see numbers in the middle swelling through. Selwood, and then one more gift to Myers. Super short, but effective enough. And he finds Stengel, despite the attention of Pickett.
He's nearly been their best player, Tyson Stengel. He's just been the one constant in the forward half of the ground who's kept presenting. And when the rest of them have dropped off and looked like they've lacked energy, he's the only one who's had some bounce about him and keep presenting. So they were a bit sluggish and lethargic last week against the Eagles. They certainly weren't in the first half. They've been made to look at in the second.
He's kicked 2. And never has his team needed it more than here and now. Early in the last quarter at the MCG. To the punt road end of the stadium. Tyson Stengel kicks truly. And the Cats are still in it. It's back to 11. Can they find a way to really challenge?
Well, that's it, Hutto. Can that be now the starter for Geelong to just get the game back on their terms a little bit more? For all of Richmond's dominance over the past 45 minutes, it's under a 2-goal game. They gave up that big a start to the hot Cats early on in that game. I like Jeremy Cameron there. He's just getting up the ground. He gets involved in the chain. It's just going to take a big work rate here from some of those Geelong forwards to actually get up and then try and beat their opposition players back towards goal, because they need him up the ground, they need him deep.
Well, they got him in the centre bounce right now, so he's having to do it everywhere in his 200th game. That's the first time we've seen transition like that from their back half for 2 quarters.
So Stanley, Guthrie, Selwood, Cameron in the middle for the Cats. And he was caught. Is it ball? Umpire said no. Baker again. He's been epic. He gets it back again. Danced inside. Back to Nankervis. A dainty little pass to Pickett. And it travelled the required. No, umpire now says you better go. Under some pressure. To Nankervis. Hits a pretty good spot with this kick. Lynch. Not the second grab. Menegola. He waited on the lazy Susan until he was spun around to Zach Guthrie. He heads towards Stanley. Off hands close. Feeds it back to Stewart. Cue the boos. Inside kick, delightful. He's got Blitzars on the run. He's got left, right and centre options. Guthrie heads out wide. The recruit of the year, Stengel, dropped it. Put it to grass. Now he needs to make amends. Heads toward Henry.
Free kick Grimes.
A block.
No, he just ragdolled him and then pushed him.
Tommy Hawkins making a bad day and night worse right there. Stengel had worked his backside off to put pressure on up the ground and then get involved in the chain out. Just a disappointing result, but the penny's dropped for the Cats. They realise they've got to take some risk here. They've come back into the middle of the ground the last 2 times. Yep. It started to move the footy with a bit of pace.
The thing is, you just want the right players off half-back taking those risks. So you want the ball in the hands of Menegola and Duncan and Tui.
Broad, emboldened, but he came adrift on the wing. Tui, Smith strong enough through the hips, but as it turned out, maybe he wasn't. Couldn't get a clean handball away. And
so this was a certain goal that they've given up again here. So he's lost front position there and just gave a push to Dylan Grimes, who's saved Richmond yet again. But it's about this time in the second quarter where things started to change for Richmond. So we just had a little sign for the Cats in the last couple of minutes.
Nankervis had his way with Blitzars. Short up to the 50 again. Connor Jasny made the play, backed up by Zach Guthrie. That's where it ended. Tom Lynch. And the Tiger fans pleaded for a free kick.
This is where they're dangerous, boys. This is where Geelong just hunt corridor now. They know the situation. They know the clock.
Blitzars the tap. Graham made do with what was there, hooked it towards the boundary line. Questions are asked, and it's a free kick to the Cats.
Well, I'm not sure that was a deliberate choice in any way, shape or form. Anyway, it's a virtual last touch between the arcs as it is, but you wonder why the Cats don't play like this earlier, take a few risks and get this back through the middle.
Holmes gets on the end of it. It's a Cats home game here at the G, but Tiger fans have made more noise since half-time. Guthrie inside. Jeremy Cameron about to kick it to where he'd like to be. Heads toward Blitzar's got there.
Yeah, good's a kick.
Great kick. And he looks up. He's got O'Connor and he's got Stengel. They're both out there. Stengel, they both go to him. O'Connor collects it. Hands it up to Close. Opens up the angle. Close and the cigar. Massive goal for the Cats.
Watch Tyson Stengel here. With the ball's on the deck, he's out of the play. He just gets a little hand in at the last second to strip the football. Otherwise, the 2v1 Richmond players, they were going to win this ball and take it the other way.
Really, he's been the hardest working Cat all day. He's been pushing up, putting pressure on. The kick from Cameron sets it up. The effort from Stengel to get up and get involved again. And then watch the awareness here at Close. He looks, he realises it's Nankervis. He says, yeah, I'll have a piece of you, and goes on and kicks the goal. What a contest. Go back to that Jeremy Cameron kick. I know Kingy's talked about his field kicking in the past week, and there's the example of it. When you've got nothing to lose, all of a sudden the game opens up a bit, and their last 3 goals have come from a far more attacking mindset.
All eyes back to the middle. The tap down. Guthrie, who's going to have the energy? Tigers can still lay tackles. Brilliantly done by Graham. He'll do that all day and all night. A little bit goes on off the side.
Jack Revolt yet to hit the scoreboard. In these instances, he becomes very dangerous.
Plenty of hands up, demanding the footy. He goes to Lynch. Cats expected. Then Revolt! Oh, what a mark!
Oh, Gary!
Coming, Gaz!
Oh, no.
You're kidding me.
Oh, it's been reversed. They'll tear the stands down if they're not careful.
I think
the Tiger fans.
Gary carrying on up here too much.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
DeConing comes away. Back to the wing. Geelong, no marking prowess there at all. Guthrie had to fly. Tigers couldn't claim it either. Graham tries to force the issue. Had some insurance. It's Tarrant. That's slapdash, bang it forward sort of stuff. It's getting to that time of the night. Stewart takes the mark at halfback. Eyes off the corridor. Takes the risk out though, kicks it down the line. Out the back, Myers. Hawkins ready and waiting. Over to Jezza if he wants him. No, he goes instead for Stengel. Cameron's in the square. It is 200th. He'll put the Cats back in front.
Wow.
Ring your friends, text them, whatever. Get the telly on now.
Great call, Hutto. It started at the other end. We just thought that Jack Revolt is going to put his mark on the game here. They paid it against Tom Lynch, and it's there.
Yeah, it was there.
He grabbed Sam DeConing and pulled him to the ground.
You paid it at the other end with Hawkins. You've got to pay that one too.
And this gets over the back, and all of a sudden then Geelong are out. The change in the complexity of this game in the past 5 minutes has come about because of a mindset when they go, right, we're now 17 points down. We have got nothing to lose, and the game has opened up for them, and Jeremy Cameron's the man.
So it can go one of 2 ways in that situation. You can lose by 30, or you can come off a couple of times and all of a sudden the confidence grows. That last contest, so Richmond have been so good at outnumbering, but they don't win that ball. All of a sudden the offside players all fall to the footy.
Ball slammed into the deck. One kick game. Blitzarves collects it. The Cats had to get 3 goals down to play this kind of footy. Close feeds it further forward. Henry couldn't collect it. Close takes it to the line.
So how many tickets did Richmond have to spend to work their way back into the contest? How much effort? How much is it sapped out of them?
With Dion Prestia off the ground and Soldo was their sub, is that going to come and bite them on the backside?
Still 10 minutes, a lot of footy here.
Oh, there's an eternity left in this. Plenty of twists and turns, you'd think. Atkins tracks it. Pulls the kick short. And again, the tackle pressure of Richmond hold it in. Don't get the reward they were after.
Dylan Grimes has said, I'll take Jeremy Cameron, thanks. He's taken Gibcus. He's just said, you go over there to Henry. I'll take the match winner.
Soldo. V. Hawkins. Blitzarves. He got a bit on that. But it's to the near side, only a behind.
He does loom, as does Bolton, but there's a bloke called Stengel who's been every bit as influential as anyone. His performance, his work rate off the ball has got to be recognised, and he's been the one that's continued to present all night.
Rioli takes the shortest, the most logical target given the circumstances. Flostone down the line. Nankervis and Lynch have the size against DeConing. Rioli, an important touch. Nankervis heaves it forward. Revolt, Stewart just had to make a body line for the ball. He kicked it in. And the volume rises around the MCG. DeConing played his part. Buse to Close. Cameron's on the move. Henry the deepest target. Close identifies there's more Richmond jumpers. Cats them all 30 or 40 out. Still he goes for Hawkins and Henry anyway. Cameron from the side. Just you wait, it was Henry coming through. Grimes got mobbed. The Tigers were clear enough. And Short gets it out to young Judson Clark. Now it's an empty wing, so he plays the waiting game. 2 bounces, not a great kick, it has to be said. Busy intersection again. Cats prevail. It's Tui. He finds that Guthrie.
Bit of inexperience there from Clark. He played on blind. If he had have looked before he went, he would have seen that Richmond had nothing on down the wing.
Tigers have still filled the forward 50. Geelong needs some markers deep, but Cameron doesn't want to go there at this stage.
Tom Hawkins, I've been watching him. I'll be surprised if there's not something wrong. He hasn't even wanted to compete.
They still work their way around the arc. Zach Guthrie.
This is where he sets himself up every way, Tommy Hawkins. But
Cameron leading back now, but the kick goes towards Henry, and it never looked like hitting the target.
Yeah, and so Tom Hawkins is looking for the little one from 15 metres away.
Well, which is what you do when you're low on confidence as a key forward.
And Curvis have lost into Rewalt. He couldn't grab it. Tries to get Edwards to mop up his mess for him. And now he runs. All part of his grand plan, Jack. Caught though, gone. Didn't get a kick on that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I know Tom Stewart's had a night where he'll look back on with great fondness for one incident, but he's one of the great stumbling blocks right now to Richmond winning this game. His positioning across half-back, his ability and willingness to take front spot.
Hughes sends it to the pocket. Henry's down there, it didn't get to him. Nankervis couldn't grab it, but he traps it. Gipkus, he can't thread the handball. They'll get a ball up forward pocket for the Cats. The Cats were 35 points up and 17 points down. Close, up against the boundary. Oh, he got one as well. He was hoping for it. He braced for it, and he got it.
Well, the little fellas have come to life. They've come to life when they've needed them most in this last 5 or 10 minutes from the Geelong Footy Club. Close has been great in this last quarter. We've spoken about the Stengel's influence.
To make it a 2-kick margin. Outside the boundary. Deep breath. Full allotment of time. Runs in. And he's missed. A few Cats, they thought it was there.
They liked it. The ball's all around the kicker. Yeah, they did.
Well, they'll check it, obviously, but...
Oh, too late now.
No, too late. They won't check it.
Ralph Smith bounds in. Full confidence in Lynch. He got a little shove away, and that puts them into the clear through the middle. Ross had to wait. It affected the kick. Atkins hunts it down and finds Menegola. And that's a nice kick. Showed good poise to hit Smith in the middle, who's instructed to hold things up by his teammates.
Again, just a poor choice from Lynch to play on then.
Now it is play on as Lynch tried to shut the angle down. Guthrie couldn't get there to stop the man Mountain.
He's becoming an issue too at the other end of the ground. So Tom Hawkins would be well placed to go and stand next to Nankervis and at least compete.
They fan it out wide for the run of McIntosh. Lynch leads up, tries to get in his eye line. Instead, he brings it back through the middle. Rioli wanted the handball initially. Guided the kick, but it's straight to Mitch Duncan. Critical turnover. He doesn't want to get overexcited, but he likes the look of Guthrie out wide.
And Blitzhalves is desperately trying to get down and even up a number with Nankervis to provide at least a contest.
Long lead from Henry, didn't mark, but did get it back to Smith, who improvised off the right foot. Options galore for Zach Guthrie, and he finds here the long leg, Menegola, who is within range and has kicked goals from distance before.
Tired legs here, guys. Tired legs from the Tigers. When that ball's turned over, we saw them swarm in that second part of the second quarter and the third term. Their pressure was amazing, but they're just a step off.
And when the heat comes, their ability, Geelong's, to mark the footy and kick and mark and kick and mark and take some heat out of it.
The number's not good from here. An exhausting day. Just his second game back. Menegola kicks. It's not going to be a goal. It is a minor score. So the Cats have got the territory, but they haven't capitalised fully. The lead is 4. Here's another look at that close kick.
It was close.
Need to make the post even bigger.
It was close. They
Chip in to Pickett.
Can't afford to hand it back as they have the last couple of times, Dwayno.
So down the line, Bolton floats in. Got it!
How good is that? That's what normally your 6'4" bloke's doing down the line.
To Rioli. Turned it over moments ago. Martin. Bolton. Rioli gets it from Ross. Can he find a target? Who is he handballing that to? Holy moly, Rioli's had a couple of moments in this last quarter. He'd love back.
Well, he had a couple in 10 seconds there with a little kick. He's cramping up here too.
Gee, there's some moments in from Bolton, some heroics of Bolton. Gee.
From the scramble, Atkins, Guthrie, caught but high, catch ball,
Got untidy the last few minutes of Tigers, and it may be fatigue, you know, given the situation with Prestia off and the numbers, but you've got to hand it to the Cats here. They've found a way.
Last 20 minutes they've conceded 4 inside 50s to Richmond, Gary. They've locked down this back line absolutely perfectly.
Still 4.5 minutes to go. Hughes, here's Nankervis again. They keep kicking it to him, and he's providing hope for the Tigers. And he could be the source and get something started. Ross wanted to give to Broad on the overlap. Lynch wants it long, and what Lynch wants, Lynch gets. No, Stewart, a stumbling block. It goes out.
It was just a poor kick. It was to the wrong side. The ball had to go to the other side of the defender there, to Tom Lynch on the way in. Too easy to defend and kill over the boundary line with that inside 50.
Well, Stewart and Nankervis are the two big stumbling blocks here at either ends of the ground.
Yeah, so if you're a key forward, just go put yourself next to them.
Tom Hawkins had a night to forget, but at least go and compete.
Throw in the forward pocket. Maximum danger for the Cats. Baker threaded the handball. Rush kick out of there. They were lining up. Ross searching for the answer. Puts it up again. Goes to Lynch. Got to beat 2. He couldn't. Koning this time takes the mark. 3 minutes 35 to go.
Huge moment for the young man who's had his hands full since half-time. Tommy Stewart came in and some body contact, but he had to be clean, and he was.
Oh, the kid's good. Long and wide. Menegol of the crumb to a one-on-one on the wing, but Tarrant, who's beaten Hawkins in the majority of those one-on-ones, takes it again. Ross. 3 minutes and change left. One kick game.
Nankervis has now gone deep inside forward 50 to even numbers up with Tom Stewart.
Dustin Martin time, you'd think. Opens it up, Nankervis. Hands it up, McIntosh. Square, bouncing ball. There's the kick again. De Koning. How will the umpire read that? How will he read that? He reads it as okay.
Wow. You're taking your life in your own, your footy life in your own hands there.
Under enough pressure, according to the umpire.
Wow, clearing kick from Stewart. Guthrie's got a leap. Pickett, we know what he can do in the air. He does it on the ground. He heads back to the square. Rioli!
Wow. I thought it was going to be Bolton. Bolton was the one that looked at most likely. There was a 2-on-1 and the kick just favoured Maurice Rioli Jr. My word. Good luck, young man.
Oh,
Geez, Pickett's aerial stuff today has been awesome.
there are moments, and then there's this. The most famous Richmond name, Maurice Rioli.
Bang!
Makes his own name at the MCG. Richmond are back in front. And just listen to that Tiger roar.
Well, don't underestimate that. Don't underestimate the pressure there. A young man that's grown up in love with this footy club, and you're right, Pickett's performance is, in this second half has been superb, and as you see, he had the choice. Rioli read it, and this is a coming-of-age moment, because you go, oh, do I sit back and defer to Shea Bolton, the superstar? No, I'm the one. I'll go. I'll take the responsibility. Goes back and slots it.
He played AFL and VFL last week. For Richmond, came on as the sub. Played in the VFL, had 19 possessions. And here we go. It comes down to this. 2 minutes left in a one-kick game. Tigers lead. Is there a twist left? Atkins out of the middle. Mungles it to half forward. Chaos ball. Stengel bangs it long. Henry's forward. Floyd.
Wow! Tyson Stengel taking it out.
Stengel and the grab. That's a great grab. Body control on the way down.
The grab is extraordinary. Cameron's coming back with a flight.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it unless Tyson Stengel swoops on that ball in the manner that he has.
Hit it like a steam train, didn't he?
It's been unbelievable. What a game.
Jack Henry also back from the VFL last week. jump, and Jack Henry for the lead for the Cats. Out of this world, this game. And we've still got a minute left.
What can you say?
Here's the grab.
He's contending with Floston, one of the best defenders in the competition. He's got Jeremy Cameron coming back in his face. Jumps early. That's elite. That is elite, both ends of the ground. Never took his eyes off it.
No, and that's the key to that sort of mark. If you're not going to clunk it first go, to actually follow it with your eyes on the second grab. And he said don't underestimate the pressure at the other end with the Rioli kick. I know that's regulation, 20 out straight in front, but you've still got to go back and execute.
Crowd of 60,000 at the MCG. It's an epic. There's still just over a minute to go. The Tigers try and get it out of the middle. Free kick to Baker.
Who else?
He helped to turn the tide. The fabulous Baker boy kicks them deep, fully loaded. Bolton's at the front. No mark to Revolt. It squirts out the back. Menegola didn't kick it cleanly. The highest ball out wide. Broad tried to wrestle it. Atkins
Coming back.
out of bounds.
She's had a couple of good moments too, Tommy Atkins, in this last 30 seconds or so. And how smart. I don't know if he meant it to get out of bounds, because had he not, the turnover was on, it was coming back.
Stewart's the spare here. You've got to go and man him up. You can't allow him to intercept. Henry's gone behind the ball.
50 seconds to go. The suspense. It's killing everyone. Coming through, Nankervis couldn't quite. Short just hacked it and hoped. The villain turns hero for the Cats.
It's a great call. He, as we said, he's had a horrible, difficult night, but he has been outstanding.
Goes out to the wing, kicks it to Henry, who flies again, but it's a Richmond mark. Tarrant's going to send it forward. One last roll of the dice. Off hands. Rioli. Can Martin get involved? He tries to put the tackle on. 10 seconds to go.
Well, and that's close. Again, one of the small forwards has pushed down hard. This is it.
No
It all
space.
comes down to this.
No space here.
8 seconds to go. Nankervis tried his darndest, as he has all day. It's now towards the line. It's just about out of reach. Damien Hardwick, the torment of football all over his face. The Cats know they've got it done.
No free kick in the ruck here.
What an incredible game of football. Words fail. The Cats don't. Two incredible clubs, two incredible teams. 35 points down, Richmond were. They got to 17 points up, and then the Cats found a second win. And despite Richmond pressing so hard, Geelong make it 5 wins in a row, and they get home by 3 points.
It's an incredible game of footy. It really is. It's one you can go back and watch so many times and enjoy the different periods of momentum that both sides had. And
Isn't it an amazing thing, momentum?
And it reflects the way they want to play. You know, it was Geelong early, and then Richmond came back out and said, we've got to do something. Let's go back and play the way we did. And then when all was lost, got out to 17 points in the last quarter when Lynch kicks that goal. Geelong go, righto, let's go. We've got nothing to lose. And the whole thing opens up.
So it's amazing how that attitude shift can affect the game of footy. And you just wonder, what did Richmond have to spend to get there?
There's some pictures here. If any doubt about Tom Stewart and what sort of character he is, I think you're getting a sense here. The jubilation of the victory and then the thoughts of what happened. Let's go down to David King on the ground.
Well, I'm down here with the 200 gamer. You're a bit spent, Jeremy. That was an amazing game. 35 points up. You lost the lead. You found a way to win. What a football club.
Yeah, it was I'm out of breath. Going up in the midfield's not great for me, I don't think. But, nah, it was an awesome game. Like, it really was. We got out to a nice lead, but, you know, it's happened a fair bit this season. Like, teams have got momentum and no leads, you know, big enough. So we knew they'd come, and they did, and what a last quarter.
You've seen Tyson Stengel up close all year, some of his efforts in that last term.
Yeah, even the little things, like, I think he brought the ball to ground over there on a tall. You know, all our smalls do that, and he's not only kicking goals, but his movement, you know, he gets up, he gets back, he dances around. We just let him do his thing. I think that's why it's working so well.
What were you doing the centre bounces there late? You reckon it's not good for you going in the middle?
Yeah, well, I actually quite enjoy it, but I still don't know what's going on in there. The boys are calling to hit somewhere, and I honestly don't know where it's going, but it's good. I like to get up the ground and you know, lose my opponent. You know, Grimes is such a great player, and he doesn't want to come in there with me, so it's a good way to get off him, but he catches me on the way back, that's for sure. They're a really good team. They're a really good back six, the Tigers boys, and it was a great game.
What about yourself personally? Significant milestone, 200 games. It's an amazing effort, and to play well today means something to you?
Yeah, I think definitely, you know, walking out here with my little niece Poppy today was awesome. But to have all the family here come across from Dartmouth, I think there's 60 or 70 odd. It was awesome to play well in front of them. You know, we gave them a great game, regardless of the result. But, yeah, really good to have everyone here.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We talk about all Australians and recruits of the years and all those sorts of things. It's all relevant for this bloke. This was the match-winning play. The ball was won for Tom Atkins. I think might have got the centre clearance. It was an ugly ball, and someone had to come at it and be clean enough, and it was Stengel who just presented like a shot and got the ball around, and then that man Jack Henry on his return took one of the really courageous marks. And
if you had to make any prediction about today, you wouldn't have think it was Jack Henry going forward that right from the start and then kicking the match-winning goal that would occur.
Yeah, no, we were surprised, weren't we, when we looked down at the opening bounce and he was playing forward, and he had an impact early in the game. He kicked the second goal of the match, and he kicked the last goal of the game to secure a victory. So many storylines to come out of it. You can talk about this game for a long, long time. Richmond, I know it's a cliche, but they lost not a single fan anywhere in the country. They were absolutely superb. They were very sluggish out of the blocks. They gave up a 20-point lead. It got out to 34. Squared it away 20 points at half-time, and there was a bit of a look about them that said, yeah, they've been given a reminder. And then on the back of some Shea Bolton heroics, and Liam Baker was superb, they got themselves back into the contest. So they'll be shattered and disappointed. You know, they got to a 17-point lead in that third quarter when, halfway through that last quarter when Tommy Lynch kicked the goal, and from that point on you'd expect them to win, but the whole complexion of the game changed. Geelong knew that they had to be attacking, and they got away and started, you know, belting through the middle of the ground. They got a win. Kingy's enjoying it. He's out in the middle of the ground. He's with one of the stars of today's game.
Tyson Stengel. Tyson, it's been an unbelievable journey for you, an amazing season you're having, but just run us through that last quarter. You had some great moments.
Yeah, I just played as I normally play in the last quarter, so just like getting around the ball and trying to get to good spots, and fortunately enough I was in good spots to get the ball.
Look like you're loving your time down Geelong this year.
Yeah, it's been pretty good down there. They embraced me down there, and yeah, it's showing on the football field as well.
What's it like playing with Tom Hawkins and Jeremy Cameron?
Yeah, it's pretty good. The big boys down there. Yeah, getting the ball to ground and then just getting around them and kicking goals as well.
You swooped on that ball at centre-half forward at speed. Were you thinking about having a shot yourself, or just pull it to the top of the square?
Yeah, I thought I was about to have a shot, and then I was thinking, I can't make the distance with a snap here, so I'll just pull it to the top of the square. And I was hoping Hawk can get there, or one of the big boys.
You need a little bit of help along the way. We all do. You've had Eddie Betts as your mentor down there at Geelong. What's he meant to you this year?
Yeah, he's been pretty good. Him and his wife, they've been really good for me for the last few years since I went to Crows, and then after that, just sticking by my side the whole way.
It's a pretty special group you're playing for here, mate. Could go all the way this year, who knows?
Yeah, hopefully that's the aim.
Boys are getting stuck in here now. I said stop talking. See you, Tice.
Oh, well, what a difference a good bit of list management can make. I mean, they weren't the only club that wanted him, and the situation suited, obviously. But I don't think anyone would have expected him to have this impact so consistently.
No, and look, when they were battling in that third quarter and the start of the last quarter, he was the one. He was the one that kept presenting, and some of his defensive work in the back half of the ground as well. And then Close got involved. He was terrific in the last quarter as well. So, Yeah, there's a little changing in the guard here. How long it lasts. I mean, Joel was reasonably quiet by his own. He had some good moments, but he and Tom Hawkins, who have carried this side for such a long time, they didn't have their greatest nights and had to look elsewhere. And fortunately for the Cats, someone was able to step up.
I know you said it, Richmond won't lose any fans, and totally agree with you, but the congestion in the top 8 makes the 4 points so valuable, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And
we watched
the 200 gamer getting carted off. A little lopsided. A couple of...
How did Brad Close get to become involved so quickly? Must be great mates with Jeremy Cameron.
And talk about... There's a couple of contrasting pickups. Tyson Stengel cost them not much. Jeremy Cameron cost them plenty, and they both starred today in a big win at the home of footy. So, I don't know, it was a pleasure to be here, boys. It was an absolute joy to watch. I mean, Richmond had some unbelievable performers.
Half of Dartmoor's down there.
He might have a can or two tonight. You can have one or two, can't you, still, Dwayno? In moderation.
Dwayno?
Am I the default position on whether you can have one or two?
I looked at
I'll tell you what I do hope. I hope these two teams meet in the finals.
Yeah.
You get Cochin back, you get Noah Bolter back, you get Patrick Dangerfield back, and let's do it again in September.
And it's an easy cliche, isn't it, to say it felt like a final today. It was if you had a final as good as that, you'd be talking about it for years.
No question. The pressure early on, and Geelong's pressure was absolutely magnificent. They owned the ball in the first quarter. Richmond couldn't transition at all, and you wondered, what could Richmond do? And then all of a sudden they found their mojo. So Chris got to be thrilled with what they were able to do and find a way to win, because that game, to all intents and purposes, slips away from them when they're 3 goals down with 10 minutes to play, and they've got enough experience in there to always think they're a live chance, but then absolutely executing is a different matter, but they did.
What an epic at the MCG. Geelong holding on by 3 points in an absolute thriller, a game of serious momentum swings. Geelong led by 35 points midway through the second term. Richmond came back to lead by 17 points, but it's Geelong by 3. Brownie, what a game.
Great game, wasn't it? What a day it's been so far with the all the teams playing each other in the top 8. We know that, and obviously one coming up. But that was great. Geelong looked gone, didn't they? Richmond got back to 17 points in front, but they used up a lot of energy to get to there. And the Cats are just purring along nicely. I think they've gone under the radar, Kath.
What about the moments, though? Maurice Rioli Jr.'s goal, then Jack Henry, awesome stuff. We'll relive it all and best on ground a little later on, but we've got to get going to the SCG. Hopefully this game is just as good. Another top 8 clash. It is Sydney hosting St Kilda, and it's quite the critical game for both clubs, Brownie, given they're both coming off alarming losses.
Yeah, bad losses last week, especially this team, St Kilda. Their effort was poor defensively, apart from a 10-minute burst in the third quarter. But a huge game tonight. They'll understand the significance of it.
But they do regain their skipper in Jack Steele. And, of course, it is the 7th annual Pride game at the SCG tonight, where we celebrate the journey of diversity and community. A beautiful reminder that the game of Australian rules football is a game for all.
You're watching Super Saturday on Fox.